Ready?
Ja.
We moeten in één keer door.
Ja.
Nog een beetje hier.
Here we are, alone, 720 kilometers from the nearest town, surrounded by mosquitoes and grizzly bears. It was exactly what we were looking for, after escaping the busy tourist places. But maybe we were a little too adventurous. Did we push it too far? British Columbia had started to feel busier, and finding the kind of beautiful, quiet camps we were looking for became increasingly difficult. So, we made a new plan, hoping to find that feeling of adventure and remoteness again, deep in the Yukon wilderness. But before leaving British Columbia, there was one last place we really wanted to visit.
Alright hoor, we're finally here, we're in the United States.
Alaska.
For one day, Alaska. It's beautiful. We're going to drive to Salmon Glacier, but it's so unreal after such a long planning, we're finally in the US.
But only for a brief moment. To reach Salmon Glacier, you cross into the United States. A beautiful drive, and definitely worth the detour. How many places in the world are there where you can sleep above a glacier like this?
Hey, Snarky! Snarky purr.
After spending the day at Salmon Glacier, we had a long drive ahead of us to the Yukon.
Alright, let's fill up. Take as much diesel as we can because we not know how long it will be. 160 liters of fuel. Putting in some diesel additives because we don't know the diesel quality. And for our European engine, we want to protect it.
We have to cross this river to even start the route, but it seems like they're on a lunch break.
We're at the North Canol route, and this route was originally built in World War II, but they stopped the project and now it's totally abandoned. So it's one of the most remote routes in Canada.
Yeah.
So that's what we're searching for, going out in the wild again. And we spoke with a local and he told us it's beautiful up there. There is a possibility because the road ends somewhere at the border of the Northwest Territories, but he says, yeah, you can go further but there is zero maintenance there, and yeah,
not a lot of people go.
Not a lot of people go there, and from there it's a real big adventure.
Yeah, so he was also checking out our car. Do we have a spare tire? Do we have
good suspension, enough fuel and stuff like that? And
yeah.
he said, yeah, you can try how far you can get.
So we started in Whitehorse, we drove up to Carmax and then to Ross River, and this is where the Canol road starts. So we're just at the beginning, and this is the route that we are going to take up onto the border, into the Mackenzie Mountains. Let's see how far we get.
Yes, into the Northwest Territories.
Let's go. After a full day of driving, we started looking for a place to set up camp for the night. A little bit overwhelmed. It's hot, there's a lot of mosquitoes. I'm hungry, hangry.
Louis, nee.
It already felt like we were much deeper into the wilderness than we had been in days.
Okay, so we're in our tent, and look what is here. This is insane. Huh?
Oh my god.
It was like in front of our camper.
But we had a mission, so we kept driving deeper into the Yukon wilderness. Every hour the weather seemed to change. Rain gave way to mist, and then back to rain again.
We just entered the Northwest Territories. It's an amazing route. We're already driving for a few hours.
And every time we stop,
we're getting attacked by a million mosquitoes. But I think it's time to find a place to sleep and then continue tomorrow.
Yeah. Up until now, the route hadn't been technically difficult. The real challenge here is remoteness. There's only a small chance you'll see another person. This spot is amazing. It's so funny how when the weather changes and the bugs are away, you feel like you can breathe again and everything is nice and happy and a good vibe.
this is the end of the route we know. But if we read it correctly, we can continue. But from here on, we don't know really what we can expect.
From here on, there would be no services, no bridges, no help, nothing. Just two extremely experienced overlanders with a well-equipped vehicle. This should be easy. Okay, this was a lot deeper than we expected. Maybe we're not as experienced as we thought. The further we drove, the more the remoteness started to sink in. And with every kilometer, doubt slowly started to creep in. A small problem can become a serious one. What if the vehicle breaks down? What if one of us gets injured?
The other one was really deep. I think we have to be careful, especially since we're all alone and help is a few days away. Huh?
Yeah.
So I will first check how it is.
And?
We are in the Northwest Territories and it's amazing. Here you really have the feeling, well, you are all alone and there's nobody, but that's sometimes also a little bit scary because we're always traveling alone. And the river crossing we did was already pretty sketchy. The whole hood came over under the water. And
now we have to do it again.
And now we have to do it again because there are a lot of water crossings if we continue that way and we're traveling alone, like I said. So it's too much risk. So we slowly go back. It's a long way back to civilization. First do the scary river crossing and then I think we find a good place to sleep again. That was scary, huh?
Yes. Yep, there we go. Tails between our legs. Not quite the experienced overlanders we thought we were.
Alright, we're at the beginning again. And we want to show you the sign. It says warning, no surfaces, no bridges. And I think we understood why there's a warning sign. Even those small river crossings, they can be relentless. I don't know what happened. I took another route than the way in, and it was such small stones and the car just sunk into the river. But luckily it was at the end of the river, because otherwise we would have
been a disaster.
Yes, we would have a big problem. We made it.
Well, this must be a sign. We learned our lesson. Just 30 kilometers beyond the no services sign, we were already turning around. This route reminded us of something we slowly started to forget. After months of exploring Canada's back roads, we became comfortable. Maybe a little too comfortable. We came looking for the wildest places in Canada, and we found them. The North Canol reminded us that no amount of experience makes you bigger than the wilderness. This story could have ended very differently. The beautiful, quiet places are out there. You just have to know when it's time to turn around. Slowly, we made our way back to civilization.
We wanted to start the Dempster, but we're running into some car problems. And we think it's from the water crossing, because we had this one time before in Iceland, and it's something with the start motor. So I want to check it now before we start with the Dempster, right?
Next up, the legendary Dempster Highway.
I think we reached the point where it doesn't work anymore.
We're about to find out whether driving all the way to the Arctic is really worth it, if we actually make it there. Thank you for watching and subscribe to our channel.